When we are thinking like a genius, we can also use the ideas of famous thinkers. For example, in Rethink, we know that Leonardo da Vinci would rethink all of his inventions. He invented the bicycle, among many others. Visualize, we have Einstein. It is known that Einstein used many images and diagrams whenever he was trying to figure out a math problem. In Produce, we have Thomas Edison. We know that he invented the light bulb, but what many people do not know is that he failed many more times than he succeeded until he built it. In Combine, we have the monk Gregor Mendel, who combined the sciences of biology and mathematics to create one of his own. In Form, we have again Leonardo da Vinci, who used different types of forming ideas and combining ideas, as well as Gregor Mendel. In Opposite, we have the physicist Niels Bohr, who used the opposite theories of light as a particle and as a wave to come up with a new theory. In Metaphor and Simile, we have Aristotle, who is very known to have used metaphors in all of his works. In Failure, it begins to tell us again how important it is to keep trying. Even if we fail, it is very important to keep trying. In Patience, we have Paul Cézanne, who was a very good painter, an artist, but he had so much patience that he did not have his first exhibition until he was 52 years of age. In Thinking Like a Genius, it gives us a lot of different thoughts that we must take and reflect upon. The first one says, don't restrict yourself to the standards. Consider them standards and build on them. Practice the basics. Don't be afraid to move away from the normal and think outside of the box or the textbook. We must not conform to what other people tell us to do, but think outside of the box, as the image tells us. Another quote, read widely and deeply. Always have a book in your hand or somewhere near you. It's very important to read about different things. Reading is very cool. The second topic is called memorizing, and here we have some other study guides and strategies. In memorizing, for the overview, we see that there are many types of ways that we can memorize information that might be difficult. For example, using acronyms, acrostics, rhyme keys, the method of low-key, keyword method, the image naming technique, and chaining. First, we have acronyms. Acronyms are very common. For example, the very name of our school is usually called IMSED, and that is an acronym for its true name. But it can also serve to memorize things. For example, we can use an acronym ROY GBIV, to memorize the colors of the visible spectrum. We know that each letter stands for a word: red, orange, yellow, green, blue, indigo, and violet. And that way we never forget what the colors are. It can also tell us, for example, a little bit more difficult, the stages of cell division: interphase, prophase, metaphase, anaphase, and telophase. And it's a very simple word to remember, IMPED. In our acrostics, we can have them as poems or as simple one-letter acrostics. These are similar, but they can be sentences. For example, father, each letter begins a sentence that rhymes. Or in our other example, sun, it only has a couple of words that describe how the sun is: shining, ultraviolet, or not seen at night. Another method is rhyme keys. In this one, for example, to memorize the basic food groups, we will choose a food group, for example, and associate a number to it. Cheese on the bun, 1. So now, whenever we see 1, we know it has to do something with cheese on the bun. And cheese, well, obviously refers to dairy. So that would be our first food group, dairy. In the method of low-key, we will think about a person or something that we need to remember, and remember a location that is important to us, and make up a sort of story where that person, you can visualize them in that location, and it'll help you remember. For example, if you need to know who invented peanut butter, we can say, George Washington Carver enjoys peanut butter in the kitchen. Now when we see a kitchen, we will think that of Washington Carver enjoying peanut butter, which is what he invented. In the next technique, the helps when we want to learn words from a different language. For example, us that we are in English, if we want to learn, for example, Spanish, we want to learn the word cabina, which is equivalent to phone booth. We will make up a sentence where we have words that sound the same as cabina, although they have different meanings. For example, a cab, as in cab, is trying to fit in a phone booth. We have the pictures that we can visualize, and now we know that cabina is equivalent to phone booth. And the image naming technique helps us to remember the names of people. If you have the name of a person, you make up a little word, a little sentence about them, and then that'll help you remember. For example, this sir is named Mark Green. We can say, Mark Green uses green stakes to mark his garden. So now we know that as we included his name is Mark Green. The last method that we can use is called chaining. When we have chaining is when we have a list of long words that we need to memorize. Similar to the location experiment, we make up a small story that is easy to remember. For example, here we have to remember the words Napoleon, ear, door, and Germany. So we make up a short story. Napoleon had his ear to the door, trying to listen to people from Germany. And here the underlined words will now be easier to remember. All of these techniques will help us be better thinkers and memorize things faster and easier. So I really hope that you put these to work. My name is Adriana Garcia. Thank you very much for your time.